Hello and welcome back to Killing Floor 2. So recently the Halloween update came out and we got 3 new weapons, a new map, reskinned Zeds, and some minor changes. So I am going to generally show you how to go through these challenges. I will show you where the traps are and what they do. I will show a number of glowing skull collectible locations, and then the last 3 are self-explanatory. Kill 2500 Zeds, survive to wave 25 on hard for endless mode, and beat Count Hans on survival on harder, any higher difficulty. So, first skull, right off the bat,
Let's see how fast you can
right there.
worms.
Nice and easy at the beginning. Now I may miss a skull or two, I'm just going over the ones I know for sure. One right there, so you can just kind of aim through and hit it. Hopefully we have a bloat this wave so I can just kill that and move on. Or keep that alive. I'm starting out with the medic so that I can quickly show you the medic new assault rifle, and then we'll switch over to commando and show the event reward, which is Hans's MKB assault rifle and the FAL.
That's just the first call.
Alright, we have our bloat. Now let's go. So there's one skull behind this, right behind the 3D printer. There is one there. There's one up here. Right next to our nice Cthulhu cultist statues. Drop back down and we'll run along the outside before going into like the main building, so to speak. There's one behind this fence. One thing to mention is you can buy this door, which lets you go in here. It opens up this and lets you go into this area. For $12.50, it's I'm trying to think of a way to word this. If you have the money and you don't need a new gun, grab it. If you need a better gun, don't. One there. One behind the table. One over here nestled in the rocks. One easy to spot here. As you can see, these are pretty easy to find if you know what you're looking for. Here's an easy 3. One in the corner. One up by the DJ, which also happens to be Volter. And then one up there. And when you if you open that door, you can also come back here and jump over. If you fall down there, it's instant death. One right there. That one actually I never saw before, so that's neat to have noticed that. But that pit is instant death, so
Reminds me of that bar in Amsterdam.
it may seem like a smart idea to jump down there, because I thought there was like some hidden passage that would spit you out, but there isn't. One in the toilet. Then we go inside. the main building. And there is one up there. One down here. If we dip in here quick, I know there's this one behind the logs. And then the last ones that I know of are on this chair.
Could do with a bit more light, but so what?
And then out this window. And that's all the skulls in case you need extras, if you spawn into a match and you're late or something. So our next thing will be the traps, since this bloat's already coming. We have the trap here. It kinda worked. But you can always identify a trap by the levers. So the hallway has the cage trap. This room, when the bloat shows up, I'll show what this one does. There's also a lever, I believe, up there that triggers this. Come on. Alright. Hit that. Fire. It does its job. As you can see, killed the bloat. We'll go over the other ones next wave. I actually don't have enough for the gun, because it's a grenade rifle, so it's 2K. So we'll just quick skip. Start the next wave. So we got those traps shown. There's nothing in here, unfortunately. There's the fire trap. Excuse me. If you can walk this way, please. Walk this way! Burn this way! Yeah. Nice fire trap. Does its job quite well. Sneak on by. Then... next trap is this little strip here. This is a good one if you have raging flesh pounds, since it'll discombobulate them. Then we have a lever here and a lever over here for this pit trap, which that barbed wire actually does damage to you and them. And then our final trap, lever here, and lever over here. Let's get some guys coming. Smacks them around with the bells. The bells do some damage, but they're more just for stunning. I'd say it's on par with the... that, like... it wasn't a carousel, but it was close to it on the funhouse, or not the funhouse, the circus/amusement park kind of map. So you can kind of get an idea of that. And then you just have to get 25 kills in a single game. So if you do endless, you have, you know, 25 chances, 25 waves to do it in. So even if you kill one guy a wave, you're making good time. Then... I'm trying to think what else. That was the important part, was knocking out... yeah, the trap. Almost there. The flame trap Honestly, if you want to get the 25 kills done quick, use the flame trap here, and if there's a clot wave in survival, or not survival, endless, or even like this, just throw the lever, rack up, 3 easy kills there. These things don't have, like, I meant melee, not do that, but sure. They reset over time instead of like once a wave, so you have time to get them. The cage trap is your least useful unless you have a stand your ground right here, because then you can, the stand your ground marker actually ends where this trap is, so you can lock off one entrance and then just hold out. The general art of the map reminds me of the Killing Floor 1 map Bedlam, except that was, I believe, in an insane asylum. I always mess up pronouncing that. God. I can't even pronounce things today. Crawlers are the plants from Little Shop of Horrors.
Not exactly organic, eh?
But yeah, it reminds me of Bedlam, which is nice. I enjoy that map. I'll admit this map is a little... It's a bit tight, honestly. I was playing my Berserker for survival mode, and there was a few points where I was trapped. Entirely trapped. Couldn't move, pinned in a corner, because you have these very narrow hallways to maneuver through, and they're just not conducive to a lot of movement.
I approve.
That's nice.
Friend, get the vent back ready. 9, the big one. 9, the really big one. Yes, that one.
And during this event, if you are playing survival, I believe it's guaranteed to be Volter every time. So you don't have to worry about, oh, am I gonna get, Abomination 5 times in a row. Which is nice. Because sometimes playing hard mode, even just hard, if you play with randoms, it can be kind of astounding how people are. So I would suggest for both hard survival and hard endless, I would just go in using, if you have it, a level 25 Berserker. You have enough sustain to live through pretty much everything. I would open that door, but I'll open it later, just to kind of show you what it consists of.
Watch it, siren! Feeling a bit under the weather?
I will make sure the next man is more challenging. My generosity in activating the pod will not last forever, Piggy. Hurry!
There's a lot of drop-offs you can go down if you need to escape,
Got some ammo here.
which is good. It's just they take like a good quarter of your health, so you have to be really careful about whether or not you actually want to make that jump or not.
Do not get a big head, fool. The
Alright,
people
let's
have a
get
good day is still
that.
slaughtered.
Now, I used this gun a bit prior to this,
Some people have no
and
teeth. Gross.
the best way I can describe it is it's good in certain circumstances. And of course that can be said about any weapon, but it's good if you have another medic weapon if you're supporting your team. Because it doesn't get medic darts, it just gets the grenades. And the grenades are solid. I mean, it's a grenade launcher grenade, so it just happens to explode into healing gas. And just to kind of quickly get a point made here, this is what I'm running: Symbiotic Health, Combatant, Doctor, Acidic Rounds, and Battle Surgeon. Just so you know, if you go full left side, which is what usually field medics do on a team, this isn't what you should expect. You know, the magazine capacity boosted by 50%, the damage increase. These are things you have to kind of take into consideration. That this is as good as it can be when you're running a full damage build, as opposed to a full support build. And one little problem is the fire. The recoil's a little wild if you hold it for a while.
Got a close dead here.
As you can see, healing grenade.
Forgot you a double.
Yes, yes, you are almost done with this way.
And you can kill guys with it, which is nice. And of course I'm level 21, so I have the damage increase from that too.
You look like crap.
It's totally secure. Processes are far underperforming my projections.
So we'll go another round with this, and then we'll switch over to Commando and use
I assume
both
your lack of
weapons.
armor is part of some strategy, or are you just
I don't really need it.
That's nice.
Trader time is over. Did you get what you need to survive?
What's nice is the slower rate of fire lets you kind of flick to targets in Z time a bit easier. So you can save yourself potentially a bullet or two if you have to shift between targets.
Hey, can I do another? Feeling a bit under the weather?
It's good for crowd control, I'll say that for sure.
Just picking them off.
And like most people say, if you're a medic, you should be either healing
Someone's taking
or
notes.
clearing out trash. So
I will
you
make
do
sure
a
that
good
the
job
game
of
is not
trash clearing with the grenades. And I mean, I think you can carry 9 total, so that's 9 free healing grenades. Well, not exactly free, but 9 healing grenades you don't normally have. And then you'll see how much it takes to clear a flesh pound here.
What's he got your attention, eh?
Roughly 30 rounds, give or take,
He kills.
with the all-damage oriented build.
Let us
That was a good
return to the
headshot.
blood and violence.
But so we'll quick flip to Commando. No, level 20, running high capacity mags, impact rounds prepared, and hollow point. Hollow point I think is a lot more important than the magazine capacity increase, especially on the FAL. Should be able to buy actually everything
Sweating like a handsome pig.
at this rate. Yeah, I should be able to.
Do you realize you have no armor?
I, for some reason, have a Winchester. Okay. So we'll grab the MKB, and the FAL. We'll just fill them, why not? So before we run that, we will run the MKB for 2 rounds.
There are no deaths permitted in the marked area, not even my clones.
Now, from using this, I would say it's a better option than the AK-12. Granted, I've never once suggested using the AK-12. I like this because it's got good damage for a, I think, what, 1100 Dosh gun. You can, single fire headshot real easy. You don't have to really monkey around with trying to get multiple hits. Full auto, even with the recoil reduction, gets a little jumpy. But that's more of, it kind of likes to rotate and go almost a little bit of a circle in part of its pattern, that I found at least. So if you know how to handle that, you can definitely just full auto this all the time. But that's just, in the end, kind of personal preference. Oh. Oh. As you can see, the damage is, at least against flesh pounds, it's a little unreliable. Even landing a lot of crit hits, it's still a bit lackluster.
The time for barter is over, piggies. It is time for dying.
Has no one heard of aircon?
It's definitely a good early weapon, though. If you can place your shots, like with the EDAR, it's easy to kill. And keep in mind, this is also on normal difficulty, so this is these weapons functioning, at their absolute best.
Down they go.
Clean up the remains. Renfred will see they are properly recycled.
Look like hell.
Yeah, it can take, even on a already wounded flesh pound, upwards of 20 rounds to kill. And that's, like I said, easiest difficulty, hitting the chest, so a weak point, being consistent. Against that Scrake, it worked just fine.
Could do with a bit more light, but so what?
So now that we've kind of shown off how the MKB works, we'll switch to the FAL.
You do know how to use this, yes?
The FAL is the reason I have the recoil reduction.
That means no Zeds in it.
because if you full auto this gun without that recoil reduction, it goes kind of wild, which is understandable. It's actually quite strong. And damage per bullet is nice and high. Your magazine size is a bit low. But this magazine will easily shred, like this Scrake. 8 rounds, and I think I missed one and clipped the shoulder. So if you were to land them all perfectly, it would probably be around 6 rounds, I'd say. We'll reload and go at the flesh pound. 15 rounds. And it has a bit of target penetration, so against weaker enemies you can, as you saw, shoot through them. Alright, let's try to land as many as possible right on the head. Yeah. Still around 6 to 8 rounds, but that's still a good, solid gun to use. Way better than using the stoner, where you just throw as much ammo as possible at a target and hope they die before they hit you.
Found a weapon.
Time's up.
And with the utility and damage of the MKB, I think it's definitely worth doing this event, since it seems to be that's the only way you can get it, is through the event. The skin, doesn't matter, but the gun itself is valuable. Whether or not it's going to be, part of the meta for higher difficulties, what you should be using early on, I'm not sure. I've never really followed that meta or followed any of the theory crafting behind it. But I could potentially see it having some significance throughout the game now.
Not dead yet. I'll sort that.
And I think where the FAL really shines is hard targets and bosses. It's good at, one-tapping garbage enemies, but pretty much any gun is sufficient to deal with trash.
Nasty looking straight,
See? Nice, easy shutdown.
She got your attention, eh?
Spend it all. You and your pitiful team will die regardless. You know the biomass needed to create the flesh pound? No, of course not. You just like wasting my resources.
And whether or not I would upgrade the MKB, I would honestly say no, considering the FAL is worth a lot more in terms of upgrade. And of course, the rate of fire difference is so great. Granted, the upgrade isn't much, and that brings it up to max tier, but it's still not too bad. We'll just grab a scar to fill out,
A weapon if anyone needs one.
and we'll show this against Hans.
Red friend, get the vent vac ready. 9's the big one. 9's the really big one. Yes, that one.
Oh, he's right there.
People disgust me. Your incessant gobbling of money. I will exterminate you. Bah, I can't kill what I can't see. Fine. Ready to die.
As you see, one magazine.
This will be
On easy, mind you, but easy solo. Well, not even easy normal solo, but it's essentially easy.
You know me now, don't you?
Best they could send. Really? You are making me step up the tax again?
And that's the new guns, the new map. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button. Helps out the channel a lot, and then lets me know what you want to see more of. If you are new, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.